Some of y'all South Africans have really been stepping on my toes, okay? How do I go about this the best way without stepping out of character? And for those of you who know me, y'all know it's a thin line between me and stepping out of character. But I live with the fruits of the Spirit. So I'm going to try to stick with that. But it ain't been easy. South Africa, you are giving me a run for my money. I came back home. And the things that I had to deal with, I'm tired. I am exhausted. I haven't even been able to post what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. I'm going to have to throwback Thursday, flashback Friday. I'm going to have to throw it back at you. Definitely getting my list of culture shocks in South Africa. You can't just be here for like a few weeks to be like, oh, it's a culture shock. You got to really experience South Africa and get a culture shock. So most of y'all know that I have an apartment and I have a car. And when dealing with professionals, I mean, you can call them professionals, but when they're in a field that they are doing a profession in, you gonna get some janky situations. And we mean janky in America as like whack. Situations that's just gonna take you for a tumble. Make you just run in circles. Like South Africa, y'all don't play. Y'all got so many different ways of handling things. I thought America was bad, but you gotta really have patience here. Like I've built patience here, but I've also gotten hella anxiety, okay? Like crazy, like what's gonna happen next? And good thing I know the Lord, because that's the only one that gets me in check. My car. Y'all know I went live about my car before. I've made videos about my car before. I don't want to have no more car problems. I don't want to deal with car people. And I've been with just about 10 of them. More or less. I've only had this car for a year and a half. I've gone through different people. And it's not the car. Guys, let me just say, yo, go get a Toyota. That's what y'all be suggesting. Go get you something reliable. Like, I like my Mini Cooper, my Sport, my convertible. It's character. It gives me character. It fits who I am, okay? But the professionals that have to deal with these vehicles, I am so exhausted. I mean, the emotions, I'm over. Like, y'all made some recommendations the last time. Y'all made sure to tell me, you got to go to someone reputable. Well, I've came back to my car that has been sitting. And when a car sits, I understand there might be car problems, right? Like you might just be like, hiccup, like I might need a little tune-up or something. Like put a little bit of fluid in my system, like something, right? So when I got my car back, it didn't really start right away. And in the past, I've had electrical things that's connected from radio to window to engine to other things that's just showed me that there's an electrical issue. The convertible, I mean, there's always something with it because of the electrical issue. So let me get it checked, because the window all of a sudden wouldn't work anymore again, which it does that off and on. It started right when I came to the car, but warmed up 10 minutes, I backed out, it stalled. So when it stalled, I was like, okay, this is something electrical, this probably is connected. And then when I let it stand for about another 30 minutes, because we just were like, let's just let it warm up, 30 minutes, it was fine. But after that, it seemed like when I would start the car, it would give it like a, so I was just like, oh, it's coughing, okay? But it would start every time. Just, you know, so I was like, okay, baby, I got you. So I asked for some referrals and I said, let me go get my car checked. The electrical stuff has been a problem in the past. I need an electrician. An electrician is probably who's going to be able to fix this problem. If not the whole problem, at least the window, because it's off and on. Like this is a day on, day off kind of thing. It chooses when it wants to work. The first few months I got my car back in beginning of 2024, it was the Christmas 2023. But at the beginning of 2024, my radio gave me problems. And they were like, yes, electrical problems. The wire in the back was screeching and giving me problems. So I said, okay, just go ahead, cut it so it doesn't cause any other problems. I went ahead and asked for a referral. I got this guy. This guy was exactly what you don't want. The reason I used to not want to have a car here is because I always heard about the mechanics and their sneaky ways. They scull them. Ain't that what y'all say? Scull them. They scammers. Okay, there's many of them. Okay, y'all be like, not every one of them. I've heard that a mechanic told someone that every mechanic is dishonest, but we're not going to go there, okay? And I mean here in South Africa, because in America, it's not to say they're not dishonest. I just would like to say the fact that if they don't be honest, we're going to sue them. There's a whole nother thing. Like the liability behind not being honest and screwing up something is a little bit bigger consequences. Here, it's like a hobby. Like, how can I get away with this the most? You know, always fear of taking pieces off of someone else's car, doing things to make sure that the car comes back to them because they're like, listen, one problem led to another problem. You might need to come back, right? I didn't want that. And now I'm sitting with a mechanic who is good at manipulating, good at lying. Okay, let me take that back because he ain't good at lying. It's obvious you're lying. But he's made it a habit. So every little thing he says, he's lying. When I came to this mechanic, I said, my window is not working. My steering wheel seems to be, you know, shifting a little tough. Like it's just not turning as nicely. And I'm thinking some of that has to do with electrical stuff. It had cut off the first time when I pulled out, and sometimes it doesn't leave the seat, you know, where it says cold, cool, whatever. And I can see that it needs to warm up. So maybe it's just taking a little longer to warm up because of some electrical problems. I don't know cars. Please check my power steering. It's a little tight, and when I've turned, it kind of like just seems like it's just not loose. It can't turn, and I have to put some muscle into it, right? Then I said my window doesn't go up right, so I think a lot of that might be connected. I'm not sure, so please check it. That same day, or actually, yeah, the same day or the moment of, he's like, hey, I had a Mini Cooper here. If you want the pieces, they're going to take it to the junkyard. You need to deposit the money, make it immediate, so then I can go ahead and purchase the part for you, pick it up, and I can put it right in. I didn't hear anything about assessing the problem. He didn't go say, let me go check to see if the steering wheel was right or wrong, broken or fixed or whatever it needed to be. And the power steering just needed fluid. But you know what? I should have just went ahead and questioned him a little bit more, but I didn't. If I mentioned power steering, you'd say maybe it's just power steering fluid you might need. But no, he didn't even say, let me check. He said, okay, let me get you one because someone just came by here with a Mini Cooper. I can take the power steering off of there and switch it out for you, or a rack, power steering rack, whatever y'all call it, and I can get you one. Just deposit the money and go. What was I thinking? See, the thing was, I trusted the situation so much because the person who referred me also had their vehicle there, and they said that the electrician was the best in town. I don't know what's true or not because I haven't really had the results yet, and nothing that they said they would do has really come full circle and had resolved the problem, but we're gonna see. So now I did it. That was day one. He takes the car. Day two, he literally has already done the job and given the car back the next day. I was impressed, and I was like, hold on. Oh, let me not forget to mention, I also needed a backlight or tail light. Not because it's not working, but because the glass on it is broken from the other mechanic who broke it when trying to get the pieces of shards at the bottom of the bulb. Because the other mechanic who put the bulb in broke the old bulb, and it just was shattering in my, the glass part. He also pulled a light and he said, I got a light for you. Now you can't find this anywhere. So I'm going to sell it to you for 1,000 Rand. He's right. You can't find it anywhere. So in my head, after a long time of not having the cover on my light, I said, you know what? This will be an investment for me because I've been wanting my lights to match. Guess what? He put that on too. And I was like, cool, you did all this at once? And I wanted him to check my air conditioning. And he checked my air conditioning and said, oh, you had 2 pipes that broke. And I put some gas. All I said is I wanted gas. I want you to check my air conditioning. I think I just need some gas. Because guess what? I've had my air conditioning fixed in the past. So for him to sit here and tell me that something else was wrong with it, I'm just like, no, I just want to check my air conditioning. I just need some gas. I think it's just gas. Now, when he gives me the car, the window rolls up nicely. The power steering's working swiftly. Like, everything seems fine. The light is on the back. I'm like, wow, in one day. I was impressed. I even went live and talked about it and was like, guys, I got somebody I can trust. Finally, because all of you guys know I struggled. Here in South Africa, I struggled. But listen, y'all, I got bamboozled. Again. I'm done. This for me, I can't do it. And you know what? It don't matter if he's black, colored, or white. It's just the culture, the industry game. Even though that somebody else like, oh, well, not every mechanic is, bad. I haven't met one. Not only did he lie about everything, the light, all he did was take another glass off of something and put one on mine. I don't even know where he got it. It looks bad. It's scratched up. It's terrible, but he got it. Okay. I'm noticing this. At the time, I chose not to make a big deal. But then a couple days after my event, which was probably about 6 days after I got my car back, my car wouldn't start up in the morning. And every day during those days, the 6 days, it would do an extra doesn't work. Again, it worked yesterday. Let's try. Maybe if I just go forward and don't go back. Yeah. See, when I first came back from my trip, that's what it did. When I reverse it, doesn't do that kind of. Oh my goodness. Or when I was turning the corner one time, it did a stall and then it ended up like malfunctioning, popping open my boot while I'm turning, where the construction guy was like, hey, your boot. I don't know how that happened, but it popped open my boot. I'm turning and then it stalled so hard that I'm pushing gas that it went zoom. And I'm sitting there going, wow, this is really dangerous. At this point, I can't go take the car to him because I need the car to run these errands for my event. Okay? So I'm like, I'm going to bring it to you after my event. I'm doing U-turns sometimes. U-turn, it will stop. It will stall. And in particularly one spot by my house. It luckily didn't happen other places. I didn't do that many U-turns. Only this one part by my house that I had to because I had to go to the school. So when I would make this U-turn, it would stall every time. And I was like, what is happening? And I would show him. I would send a video. I would, little things. And he said some things on the phone that really like, oh, well, let me get a second opinion. Oh, well, bring it here now. And I was like, I can't do it right now. I gave you my car already, unexpectedly. It took me out. So I need to really like catch up on getting everything that I need. So my event happens. I now am day later. My car doesn't start. And this particular day was not a good day because I was supposed to do a whole bunch of running around, hosting, getting my car to certain, places so we can do some sightseeing, and I just couldn't do anything. So what he did tell me is, if this does happen to your car, phone me. I'll come down, get your car. Just let me know, so I don't want you to be stuck somewhere that is unsafe. And I was like, cool. So I let him know. He was just like, okay, cool. I'll come get your car. So he comes down, and I was like, look, I'm going to leave the key with my security. I have a bank appointment with SARS, and that's important. So please just take care of my car. But when he came, he saw me at the bus stop, and I said, you got one of those ropes in the car. Can you not pull my car with the rope? He was like, oh, yeah. No. We're just going to get it started back up for you anyway. And yeah, we'll drive it. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I was like, okay. Well, he took me back. When he saw me on the bus stop, he took me back to my car because he's like, your car is completely dead and you left something on. I was like, I didn't leave nothing on. I showed you that this was already giving me lack of power. Like I wasn't getting the power I needed on the daily. And it's something that just at this point gave out. So no power. We didn't think we can get this car started because without power, you can't open the boot. And so he was like, well, do you have jumper cables? So I asked someone around the corner, or I asked someone in my building, and she gave me jumper cables. And I guess you can do it in the front, some emergency, whatever. And then eventually here I am trying to start it, and it really wouldn't come on. But eventually it gave me a little, and I heard the locks turn on because I was clicking the locks on. I heard them come up, and I was like, oh, go check the boot. Check the boot, came out, boom. I said, I gotta run to the bank. Let me know how things go. When I tell you, everything that I said don't do, he did. Everything that he said he wouldn't do, he done did it. And now I'm sitting here with slowly me realizing there's more lies, more lies, more lies, more lies. And this story goes on and on and on and on and on. I'm tired of reliving this moment because, to be honest, it's so bad. It's so bad he lied. To be continued. Let me just say, I don't really like doing business with everybody. And I've been put in a situation where I gotta do business with y'all. Because right now, me, an American accent, I just be getting taken advantage of. You're right. The backlight was the ultimate epic fail. I mean, you couldn't have said it in my face any more clear that you're a liar, but here I am giving you the benefit of the doubt. So, with that said, when I went up there to get my car, after not even letting me know when you're bringing it, he has the guy who works on electrical work sitting in front of it. It looks like a movie scene he set up. Like, he's just sitting there, he's just smoking and just sitting there. And the other guy's like, yeah. So, and he's just like giving me all the excuses of all this stuff. And then the whole thing was he replaced my battery. Now it's a stolen battery in my car. I'm just tired. And he keeps lying. Tired of the lies. Trying to even sort this car out. It's just one lie after another lie. Y'all just pray for me. I'm overwhelmed. 1 minute it's the pieces of the car that he claims he replaced. And now he put a stolen battery in my car. I don't have time. I have so many other things to be doing. I went to small claims court already yesterday.
now I'm supposed to trust small claims court to actually serve and get my money back. I feel hopeless. Police can't do anything because this guy with the guy's battery that it is, he has to put a police report. Please pray for me.
Please, is there anybody honest? I definitely didn't realize that there was a difference between a backyard mechanic and a mechanic at the shop. And I say that because I've had experience with a mechanic that was on his own property, just thinking that people are trying to save money because I know how expensive it is out here. And if you have property and a home, like, it makes sense. But there's definitely a difference. If you're not at least working at a shop during the day at some point, I guess, and you're doing your side job at home in your backyard, I guess you just don't have no dignity. I will say this. I have had a mechanic who worked on his own yard. Now, I did like him. It makes me want to question if everything he said he did what he did, but he did give me a full service. And there were some things that he said he would fix, and then over time he didn't fix them. Took longer for him to get back and say, oh, I can't find the source for it or whatever. And then he's also the one who broke my light and then claimed for a whole year he was going to find the replacement or a used one and never did. So in a way, he was honest, but then he didn't finish with the end with the full truth, I guess. I don't know. It's so many fabrications. And this is why the business doesn't grow. I mean, I'm assuming that by referral, everyone comes in and like they're referral based, so they'll get business enough to manage. But if you don't have loyalty, if you're not being honest, like, other people aren't going to come to you as a reputable mechanic. And I guess to them it doesn't matter. It's about every buck. And this buck, listen, the way he took advantage of my buck, mm-mm. And it's funny because everyone's like, oh, mechanics like to take advantage of women. Shit. Women, men, even there was another guy who had his car there who he was taking advantage of. But you're right. And then me being American, taking advantage of an American is a whole nother level because, listen, immediately you see dollars, okay? And when I tell you he fluffed me, like, anyway. So I would like to get to the real bottom dirty of what he actually ended with. Because what I told you in part 1 and part 2 is not even the light of it all. Now I had to go to the police because this has now become robbery. So let's just say I can't prove that he didn't change my power steering. Well, I got 2 other opinions and they were like, if he changed your power steering and it was used, it would be everywhere. Like the oil, the bases, and it's clean. Like they were like, you even need to take off the 2 front wheels in order for him to change it. And on a Mini, you have to have the lock for the tires. And I know he didn't have one because he told me if he did my brakes, he would need to go get one. And he would also get me one too, a key, like a certain key for it. And he didn't do any of that. So to imagine that he took off the power steering and didn't take off the 2 front wheels, from what this other mechanic said, who also works in a shop, but sometimes does work in his backyard because he's the local mechanic. He just also has a shop that he works at. So for me, I'm like, okay, let me just get opinions and see what everybody is saying from other people. Now, besides the horrible power steering, he messed up on my light, or he claims to have replaced my light. But in my face, he was like, here is your old light, and that is not my light. And you could see because the bulbing is different. But he's like, this is your old light. And when I put it next to it, he was so bold-faced with the lie that he was like, it's your light. Don't make me a liar. I'm looking at it with another friend of mine, and I'm looking at, does this look like my light? And he was like, and I'm sitting there going, and you're lying in my face as if I'm that stupid. So what are you doing behind what I can't see? So now, remember, I went in for wiring, for electrical work. He claims he did all this electrical work, and I've never seen anything. It just so happened the day I picked my car up, because my window is fidgety. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. The day he gave me my car, the window worked. The exact next day, it didn't work. And then that was the exact same time when my car did this while I was driving and then stalled. So I really don't know if he even did the electrical work, but now he's avoided that question based on how we are talking about the light and all these other small pieces to, did you actually even do the work? But then he tries to be this reliable mechanic, and he's like, okay, so it's stalling? Yeah, just call me because I'll come out and come get your car. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just let me know when you're ready. And I was like, well, this week I can't because I was busy. And he was like, okay, just let me know. Well, day after my event, I had no choice because my car didn't move. And I said, my car is, battery's done. Like it won't go. So then he was like, I was like, my car has no power. And I obviously felt it had something to do with the battery, but obviously he's the mechanic. So I'm like, it just has no power. It's not even turning on. So he says to me, okay, don't worry. I'm going to come now. Like now, I'm coming now. And I was like, how long is now? I can't see here. I have somewhere to be. He was like, 2 hours. I'll give him my key to my security. He was like, all right. Then he calls me back. I'm coming right now. Okay, cool. Do you know he came? In the other person who referred me, their brother's car, who was supposed to be being worked on in the shop. You ain't supposed to use somebody else's vehicle. You didn't get that consent, and use their car to come pick up my car. And in that car, I saw one of those tow strings, those ropes. So I immediately said to him, hey, notice the tow rope. Please don't tow my car with that rope. I don't want my car to be towed by it. It is low. My car is low. It's a race car. So any little bump, it's so low. Please, I just don't want it to anything. He was like, oh, yeah. Don't worry. We'll probably just get it started up and, or something. Like, I'll make sure, it gets to my house. I was just like, okay. So now I'm at the bus stop, and he actually comes over to the bus stop and he says, hey, you need to come back to your car because it won't start at all and your battery is completely dead. You left something on. I was like, Pat, which I found out AKA Norman, because his wife is like, oh, Norman, my husband. So I was like, Pat, no, I didn't leave anything on. And to be honest with you, didn't say this to him, but I've left something on in my car before, months ago, and my car has that much more strength that it doesn't just die out like that. Like, I've left things on. So I was like, Pat, the point that I've been trying to tell you is it has low power. So the power isn't giving power. Clearly, it had its last power boost. So then I'm now at the car with them, and the problem is they can't open the boot where my battery is to be able to get the battery out or to even charge. So now I know I probably am being pretty redundant because there's so much to this story, but the sum of this part is after we jumped it or tried to jump it and did all this stuff, we finally opened it up. Do you know, after I left and I told him, do not pull my car by the rope, he had the nerve to pull my car by the rope. And then didn't tell me. The next day or 2 days later, when I went up to his house to go check on my car or whatever, he had the nerve to tell me, I'm going to make you pay for the tow truck. And I was like, what tow truck? You take pictures of everything. There's no tow truck. You would have taken a picture. He was like, I'm gonna get the receipt for you. You're going to pay for it. Let's just say I had to do more deep investigation, and the surveillance says that he didn't tow my truck. And the surveillance shows he did not tow my car. But that just goes to show, when I finally had to confront him, which was days later after he's had my car, picked it up on a Monday, I'm up there on a Wednesday because he didn't let me know on Tuesday what was going on. I came up there the next day because all he kept saying was, I'm going to bring you your car when it's ready. When is that? I'll bring you when it's ready. See, he deflects and he won't tell me when. So I just got up there with a friend and I said, I'm around the corner. I'm not surprised. Whatever you did or didn't do, which is why I came to you in the first place for my electrical work that needed to get done, the power didn't give. Now, when I picked it up the first time, I asked you how was the battery, because we also had we revealed that there was a little bit of water at the bottom of the little tub because my convertible leaks. He also said, I sealed the convertible. That was the whole point of like, no, your battery's fine now. I sealed the top. You're fine. It's all good. It's all good. I'm like, are you sure? Now this time the battery's gone out. He has no choice but to replace it. He was like, well, I can come down to you, put my battery in, and then I can take you over to go and pay for a new battery. And I said, I've paid you. We're not even going to talk about how much. We're not even talk about cost. But I've paid you thousands, and I'm not paying no more. So whatever you got to do, take off one job that you claim that you're about to go do. I need this done. I actually was trying to get more information from him on what we're choosing to do. That's why I said, I'm going to come get my car because you're not giving me answers. Because you should be offering to buy me a battery, or, hey, I'm going to get you a battery based on, oh, you put a deposit for brakes. You put a deposit for some bar railing. I don't want all of those things that you're advising that I get done when I came in for the electrical work in the first place. I didn't ask for all those other things until after you were like, everything's fixed. And I was like, okay, well, cool. Well, then if you did that, you did a great job. Let me go ahead and get that other stuff. So I gave him money ahead of time so he can do that for me. That wasn't what I should have even done. So anyway, I gave him the money. He was ordering the parts. And the red flag is, he always says, make sure it's EFT immediate, so then he can have it within now so he can go pay for it then. So now when I come over, after he had said he wanted to take me to go get a battery, he did end up getting me a battery, and it was a Willard's battery. The adjustments were terribly put in. Like, I was like, that's how you're leaving it? He was just like, yeah, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Terrible. Acid is everywhere, all over the back, all over the he didn't clean any of it, but whatever. All I'm saying is the job wasn't even done. Once we discussed this battery, he was like, yeah, and I paid this amount of money for it, and making it more than what I've given him. But I've already accumulated much more. But for the part that we decided I'm going to exchange for this amount, he's like trying to make it seem like it's much more. But mind you, earlier he said, I can get you a battery for you for $600. Nobody wants to use battery. Like, you're just giving anyway. So I guess like Willard batteries are like 1,800 and up, maybe like 2,500. Someone else told me 3,000. All I know is he was making it seem like he can get it for cheap, but then when I came, he said it was 1,800. Look, and I was like, okay, cool, glad you got it done. He claims that my fuse box on the side of my door, not the one in the front, needs to be replaced because that's the one that exploded as well. I'm like, okay, so where is it? Did you replace it? He was like, yeah. I'm like, well, where is it? Well, it's in the door. Well, can you show it to me? Oh, it's going to take a lot to take the door off. I was like, it's on there. Is it used or is it new? New. Are you sure? No, it's new. Okay, I want to see it. And then he was like, oh, well, we can't take it off now. It's going to take long. I'm like, okay. So he goes, I'll come by tomorrow and we'll have it off when you come pick up the car. It'll be done. Everything will be done. I'm like, all right. So I come by the next day. This time, I brought the people who referred me, the people of the referral and the referral of the referral, and the friend who had came with me the next day. So we're about 5 deep. And when I tell you how scared or defensive he walked out with 2 wrenches in his hand, like big ones, long ones. Like, not like holding it up at us, like threatening us, but you could just tell he's just like being prepared. Now, why would you do that if you don't feel you've done anything wrong. Okay, so I come and the door thing is not off, so I can't see the fuse. Matter of fact, I never saw the fuse. We get there, we're questioning. The person who referred us, her car is there. What does he do? Deflect and go straight to talk about her car. We were there for about 20 minutes talking about her car. Or they were. I was just standing off to the side. Wife is trying to, kind of talk to me about side things. What's your name? What's your name again? Girl, you done business with me. Matter of fact, I even hired her and her nasty food for my event. Like, you even got me to do, and then backed out on me on delivering it. Like, it was a whole thing. But that's a whole nother conversation. This family is just wreckable. Habitual liars. And then finally, like, the electrician, his partner, is like, oh, trying to explain certain things. He can barely talk clear, and then he's trying to explain certain things. And then he goes to my car and he shows me the battery. Oh, look, we put the battery. So they put the little tube things on the battery. Looks cleaner, like the actual piece, but not the acid, right? So we're like, okay, cool. Now where's this fuse box in the door? He's like, oh, yeah, I don't even know what the answer was. That's how much they go around in circles. And he was just like, yeah, but, we're still trying to work on this and get this and da-da-da. I said, but you said it was already here. Why are we doing this? Anyway, all that to say, we ended up having a huge argument, all of us, because now the wife is upset that I'm deep with people. Why are you coming in here with these people? Mind you, I've been there for about 20 minutes. She didn't say nothing. But because now we're talking to the husband, she's starting to feel threatened, feeling him threatened. I think she just knows that this is the routine to deflect, okay? So she ends up getting involved in yelling, and I'm like, wow. So we're talking, going off. She's pointing, she's grabbing. I point. She's like, don't put your finger in my... I mean, it got bad, okay? So now I'm getting into it with these people. I don't know. The Afrikaans, she's upset that you talk to my husband. You don't get these people involved. I'm like, I spoke to your husband. Your husband doesn't really speak to me. He just deflects. And these people speak Afrikaans. And he definitely speaks Afrikaans. When I'm trying to talk, he'll talk to them in Afrikaans, but not me. Like, to his electrician and all the other people. So I don't know off and on what he's saying. And half the time he's either fluffing, go, it's fine, I'll work on it. I got it. He doesn't give me full answers. So I'm sitting here like, listen, I brought them for a reason because they're the ones who referred me. And they obviously can speak the language that get him to get the right question. After we finally got across the argument, we said, we want receipts. They were like, fine, I'll give you guys receipts. This is about an hour and a half later. He emails or text messages receipts to one of the other people who were with me. We end up getting one receipt from the auto place of the battery. Mind you, in person, he told us he got it at Willard's. On the receipt, it said Parts Body Shop or something like that. And you won't believe what happened with the battery. The battery is stolen. That's how I ended up going to his house. I didn't see any parts. It's stolen.
Please don't talk nonsense
You
to
stole
me.
the battery. Please, is there anybody honest? I definitely didn't realize that there was a difference between a backyard mechanic and a mechanic at the shop. And I say that because I've had experience with a mechanic that was on his own property, just thinking that people are trying to save money because I know how expensive it is out here. And if you have property and a home, like, it makes sense. But there's definitely a difference. If you're not at least working at a shop during the day at some point, I guess, and you're doing your side job at home in your backyard, I guess you just don't have no dignity. I have had a mechanic who worked on his own yard. Now, I did like him. Makes me want to question if everything he said he did what he did, but he did give me a full service. And there were some things that he said he would fix, and then over time he didn't fix them. Took longer for him to get back and say, oh, I can't find the source for it or whatever. And then he's also the one who broke my light and then claimed for a whole year he was going to find the replacement or a used one and never did. So in a way he was honest, but then he didn't finish with the end with the full truth, I guess. I don't know. It's so many fabrications. And this is why the business doesn't grow. I mean, I'm assuming that by referral, everyone comes in and like they're referral based, so they'll get business enough to manage. But if you don't have loyalty, if you're not being honest, like other people aren't going to come to you as a reputable mechanic. And I guess to them it doesn't matter. It's about every buck. And this buck, listen, the way he took advantage of my buck, it don't, it, mm-mm. And it's funny because everyone's like, oh, you know, mechanics like to take advantage of women. Shit. And then me being American, taking advantage of an American is a whole nother level because, listen, immediately you see dollars, okay? And when I tell you he fluffed me, like, anyway. So I would like to get to the real bottom dirty of what he actually ended with. Let's just say I can't prove that he didn't change my power steering. Well, I got two other opinions and they were like, if he changed your power steering, it was used, it would be everywhere. Like the oil, the bases, and it's clean. Like they were like, you even need to take off the two front wheels in order for him to change it. And on a Mini, you have to have the lock for the tires. And I know he didn't have one because he told me if he did my brakes, he would need to go get one. And he would also get me one too, a key, like a certain key for it. And he didn't do any of that. So to imagine that he took off the power steering and didn't take off the two front wheels, from what this other mechanic said, who also works in a shop, but sometimes does work in his backyard because he's the local mechanic. He just also has a shop that he works at. Besides the power steering, he messed up on my light, or he claims to have replaced my light. But in my face, he was like, here's your old light, and that is not my light. And you could see because the bulbing is different. But he's like, this is your old light. And when I put it next to it, he was so bold-faced with the lie that he was like, it's your light. Don't make me a liar. I'm looking at it with another friend of mine. And I'm looking at, does this look like my light? And he was like, and I'm sitting there going, and you're lying in my face as if I'm that stupid. So what are you doing behind what I can't see? Remember, I went in for wiring, for electrical work. He claims he did all this electrical work and I've never seen anything. My window is fidgety. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. The day he gave me my car, the window worked. The exact next day, it didn't work. And then that was the exact same time when my car did this while I was driving and then stalled. So I really don't know if he even did the electrical work, but now he's avoided that question based on how we are talking about the light and all these other small pieces to, did you actually even do the work? But then he tries to be this reliable mechanic and he's like, okay, so it's stalling? Yeah, just call me because I'll come out and come get your car. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just let me know when you're ready. And I was like, well, this week I can't because I was busy. And he was like, okay, just let me know. Well, day after my event, I had no choice because my car didn't move. Like my car has no power. And I obviously felt it had something to do with the battery, but obviously he's the mechanic, so I'm like, it just has no power. It's not even turning on. You know, he came in the other person who referred me, their brother's car, who is supposed to be being worked on in the shop. You ain't supposed to use somebody else's vehicle. You didn't get that consent and use their car to come pick up my car. And in that car, I saw one of those tow strings, those ropes. So I immediately said to him, hey, please don't tow my car with that rope. I don't want my car to be towed by it. It is low. My car is low. It's a race car. So any little bump, it's so low, please. He was like, oh, yeah. Don't worry. We'll probably just get it started up and, or something. Like, I'll make sure, it gets to my house. So I was just like, okay. The problem is they can't open the boot where my battery is to be able to get the battery out or to even charge. Jumped it or tried to jump it and did all this stuff. We finally opened it up. Do you know, after I left and I told him, do not pull my car by the rope. He had the nerve to pull my car by the rope. And then didn't tell me. The next day or 2 days later, all he kept saying was, I'm going to bring you your car when it's ready. When is that? I'll bring you when it's ready. See, he deflects and he won't tell me when. So I just got up there with a friend and I said, I'm around the corner. I'll see you. And when I went up to his house to go check on my car or whatever, he had the nerve to tell me, I'm going to make you pay for the tow truck. And I was like, what tow truck? You take pictures of everything. There's no tow truck. You would have taken a picture. He was like, I'm gonna get the receipt for you. You're going to pay for it. Let's just say I had to do more deep investigation and surveillance shows he did not tow my car. Guys, you won't believe, Master M reached out to me and I'm getting ready to get my car officially inspected. A whole inspection to see what properly was and was not done. I'm actually so emotional right now because I'm grateful. Ah, look at them. An official BMW reputable shop. Reputable. All right. I heard y'all. Speak loud and clear. Get somebody who's reputable. Now I feel official. I feel like I'm properly gonna get some tender loving care, some true, honest results. Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I'm so excited. We just have so much love here at Master M, let me tell you, because the love I just felt walking in there and the support and the guarantee, I feel so much better. Like, there's no way that God is gonna let me down. And this just proves, especially, that there are good people. And when y'all be like, well, this is South Africa, y'all do have honest people. It's the integrity that y'all gotta stand by. And I'm just so grateful that the integrity is showing up, because I don't want to be having the whole stigma that South Africa don't have good people or don't have people you can trust. It's the integrity y'all need to stand by. And you know what? This is why I want to do more for the community and support, because I'm going to change that narrative. There's going to be kids out there that need to know how to have integrity, how to have loyalty, how to have honesty. I love my South African folks. I always believe in the positive, and I always know that there's going to be good that comes out of the bad. And it's proven. Something good is going to come out of the bad. Look at that. The owner just came to me and said, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to let this go. Let it go, because it's poison. And he's right. There's no reason to hold on to anything, anger, frustration, pain, hurt. I'm letting it go. I'm still going to file my report, but I'm letting it go. I'm not going to sit with this pain. I'm not going to feel bad. I'm not going to let it take my mind distracted from the things that are most important, which is the community service that I've been doing. Instead of feeling hurt by the community, I'm going to see it as a personal growth, so I can use this as an example for the community of what not to do. You may not understand everything that goes on and why it does, but there's a lot of bad things about social media and there's a lot of good things about social media. When you share your testimony, it touches the right people, the people who are able to do for others and to serve and to give back. And let me tell you something. You know, bad people will always come after the good people, but they'll never prevail. There'll always be the good people who will always have your back. I'm letting go of the poison. It's no longer mine, and they're giving me a car to borrow while they take my car in. A whole rental car, just because they know they won't be done with the inspection, the thorough inspection. I'm in awe. My poor baby. This doesn't look like it was touched. Okay guys, today is December 12th, at 11 a.m. in the morning, and I have just now been able to see under my car and how the steering rack was not changed, guaranteed. Let me show you. All of this has to be moved, and if the grittiness is still here, you're never going to be able to remove it without making marks. Nothing touched, nothing, even the old pieces are still there, everything's in place, nothing has been touched. I had to come in for proof just to have an inspection. Wheels weren't taken off because he doesn't have the key to take off a mini wheel, and nothing's touched. Look at that. You have to have touched that. Nothing was touched. So if you touched it and changed it, you would see that the grid would come off. That's crazy. Wait a minute. You have to have a separate license. That's crazy. For either if you got your license as an automatic versus a stick. I have never heard of that before.
Really?
No, it doesn't matter what kind of car you get a license for a license. It never states what you learned on or what you can drive. License for a stick? No. I did learn when I was young.
Like the bikes as well.
Is this what he said you replaced?
Yes.
Okay, this we found in the car, I don't know if you know about it.
Where was it?
It was lodged between the roof and the boot.
Huh?
It was lodged between the wrapped like this. Be the old one.
I don't understand why it was lodged. And for those of you who know my car dealings, this ain't my first issue. So I've had many other mechanics who have showed their self. And this one is definitely showing up and showing out. Now, they are proving that there are really good people out here in South Africa. And I know there's a lot of you guys, but listen, in my experience, I'm being bamboozled. So I have to thank Nicholas and his whole team. They have been so sweet, so supportive, and just showing me that they got my back. And it makes me feel right at home, like I should feel. I love y'all. Thank you so much.